All right, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's 7 o'clock. So just in my true party style, I always start my parties right on time. And I don't do it, part of the reason that I do it is because it's important for my business to monitor the time because parties can easily get away from you. And if they start to stretch out, then you're going to make less per hour. So part of it is protecting my business and doing what's right by my business. So I always, always, always start on time. But more importantly, it's out of respect for the host and her guests. So right off the bat, the very first thing that I do at my parties is I thank everybody for coming, and then I offer them up a Tupper Buck. So I do, I have Rise to the Top Tupper Bucks. Some of you guys may have seen these before. They're just laminated, like made up dollar bills. And I go around and introduce myself to everybody and just say hi as they're walking in. And I hand them a Tupper Buck, and I don't really tell them what it's for. And then when we go to sit down and get ready to go at 7 o'clock, and I usually let the host know we're going to start right on time. So around 6:50, she starts telling her guests, hey, grab some food and a drink, come sit down. We're going to get started right at 7. That way they know. So then right at 7 o'clock, I say, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. My host tonight is Brooklyn. So thank you so much, Brooklyn, for inviting me into your home. There is nothing that I love more than the invitation into someone's home. So thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me be here. Tonight, I'm going to do a silent or a auction, and I'm going to auction off 3 gifts at the very end. And I always have them wrapped all pretty, and they can be something simple like snack cups or a set of midgets, or they call them mini cups now. But just something simple. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be an old dating gift. It can be something you got in your kit. It can be a couple of citrus peelers. It can be a rocker scoop, whatever you have that's kind of cheap. Just wrap those up in pretty paper or a little bag and have those set aside for your auction. And so the reason that I do an auction is that it encourages people to participate in my party, and the louder and more participation I get at my parties, the higher my sales are. So it's a party. So when people are having a good time, they're going to be buying and shopping and super excited about everything. If it's a dead silent room, I just want to melt in front of everyone. So I use auction parties to get me to where I want to be in that aspect. So I use my Tupper Bucks, and at the beginning of the party, I explained tonight, all of you should have received a Tupper Buck already just for being on time. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being on time. I want to make sure that you guys learn as much as you can tonight, and then I'm respectful of your time because I know you guys found childcare and all of that to be here. So thank you for being here tonight. The way that my Tupper Buck program works is every $1,000 can be spent in auction. So I'm going to auction off 3 items at the end of tonight, and winner take all. So as a special thank you for Brooklyn for being here, I have an extra 5 Tupper Bucks for you. And then I give her those, and everybody's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. When you host your party, you'll get your extra Tupper Bucks, okay? And then depending on what I'm demoing, if I'm doing a quick demo, then at this point, I would start the conversation part of the party where I'm kind of educating them. Tonight's demo is a bit longer, so I'm going to start the demo first, then do the conversation piece. So at this point, I would say, I would introduce myself, say my name is Angie. I'm a local consultant. I've been doing Tupperware for about 3 years, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. I want to get started on the demo because the demo does take about 20 minutes to cook, and I want to make sure everybody has time to have a little something, something tonight. Sorry, my nose is running like crazy from those jalapenos. All right, so, and then I, at that point, say, who wants to help me cook? And then usually nobody says anything right away. So then I say, for an extra Tupper Buck, of course. And then everybody, raises their hands. And if I get 3 people to volunteer, I'll let all 3 people cook. If I get 1 person, I let her cook. If I have, everybody except for 1 person, I can find jobs for everybody. So the point being, I want them cooking instead of me, because when they start to use our products, they will fall in love with them. So whatever I can do to get them using our products is going to help me in the long run. Also, I tell them this too. I say, because I know you're going to fall in love with everything that you touch tonight. So who's going to help me cook? Also, if it's terrible, I don't want to take responsibility for that. And then everybody kind of laughs. So I bring everybody up who's going to help me cook. And then I'm going to switch the camera up so you guys can see my table. So hold on a second. Can you guys see that? Is that good? Is that okay? Are they saying anything in chat?
It looks pretty. It's a little crooked, rotated toward the whole ladder.
Do that?
Yeah. Keep going, keep going. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So tonight I'm going to make 3 different recipes that you can use at your party, and you'll see that I'm going to make them in combination with each other, which you can do, but I would caution you against doing it how I'm doing it tonight because it makes for a longer demo. And when you're demoing at your parties, you want it to be like dating, where you don't give them the milk for free. Like if they want to continue to see recipes with you, they need to date parties and encourage their friends to date parties. Does that make sense? Say yes. So tonight I'm going to show you quite a few different recipes, but like I said, maybe pick 1 or 2 of these tonight and have that be your baby and something that you grow confident in, because that is the best thing that you can bring to your parties is your confidence. So pick 1 or 2 recipes and make them often in your home for your family, and then at every party, that's your go-to recipe, okay? So tonight I'm gonna make a pico de gallo in our Quick Chef Pro. How many of you guys have a Quick Chef Pro? Anybody? All right, so I'm gonna show you why you need both tools. Okay, and then we're also gonna make some salsa in the Power Chef, which is this baby. I'm gonna chop some fresh cilantro in the Chop and Prep. And then we're gonna cook salsa chicken in our pressure cooker. And the reason that I chose these recipes is everybody on the team either has a Power Chef or a Quick Chef Pro because it came in the kit. So the kit prior to August came with a Quick Chef Pro, which is the manual food processor here. And the kit after August came with the Power Chef. So I wanted to show you both so that you have a go-to for both. If you don't have a Power Chef, if you are still relying on your Quick Chef Pro, that's great. It's a great tool, something that demos very well, but the Power Chef is in the current kit, so it's something that I would encourage you to pick up. Either on half price, collect up $250 in orders and take it half price, or I wouldn't recommend purchasing it. I mean, there's so many ways that we can get it for free. So get a Power Chef. Make that a priority if you do not have a Power Chef. Because if you notice, everything that I'm demoing tonight, well, most of everything that I'm demoing tonight is part of our kit, and that's gonna help me recruit later. So first, I'm gonna make the pico de gallo, and that's in the Quick Chef Pro. And then what I tell people is we are using our chopping system. Tupperware has set us up so that we don't need just one of these tools in our kitchen. We actually need all these tools in our kitchen because they serve a different purpose. As a consumer, I think people think that these are all the same. They're all choppers, right? But hopefully after tonight's demo, you'll see what's different about them and why they do in fact need all 3 and you do too. So we're gonna start with the pico de gallo.
You want them to be asking questions?
Yeah, they can ask questions.
Out loud?
Yeah, you guys can interrupt and ask questions.
But you need to unmute their mics. Or they need to
You just need to unmute and ask questions if you want, or you can chat them out. Okay? And at my parties, I also give Tupper bucks when people ask me questions because I want my parties loud and people involved. So you can, I'm not giving you Tupper bucks. You all ain't getting anything from me. We're not doing a raffle. But y'all can ask questions. It doesn't throw me off for you guys to ask questions. So feel free. So this one is our, what was this one called? What's this tool called? Unmute yourself. Don't be shy.
Quick Chef Pro.
The Quick Chef Pro, awesome. So I'll do that at my parties too. Like I'll talk and talk and talk, and then I can feel I'm kind of babbling because I'm a babbler. So then I'll say, what was this called? And it kind of brings everybody back and paying attention. And then I'll give them Tupper bucks for answering my question. So this one's the Quick Chef Pro. And this one, if you can remember, it's a hand crank and it gives us a rough chop, like a pico de gallo. So I'm gonna put some red onion in here. And I like to mix it up and do some white onion too, mix them together. And then I'm going to do a seeded jalapeno and some garlic and some cilantro in here. And you do want to prep your ingredients before your guests arrive. That seems pretty basic, but sometimes I go to parties and people haven't prepped everything. So you want to prep it and make it look pretty in our stuff. So whether you just have a bowl to set it on, you can even set it on the chip and dip that came with your kit. You could set it, everything, all the ingredients out on this tray and have that sitting out real pretty and just using the kit items. That would be perfectly fine. But you want to have it on display somehow so that people can see, yes, everything on this table is gorgeous and I want it all and it's all Tupperware. So we're just going to put those ingredients in there for now. I'm going to give it a quick, got to take it off the cutting board. So all of our choppers have a no skid ring on it. And if you're new and you just got your Power Chef, your no skid ring is on the inside of the Power Chef. You have to pull it out and attach it to the bottom. Otherwise your blade will not line up correctly. When I was kind of new, I was at a farmer's market and I had a new Quick Chef Pro and I was like trying to show it to somebody because I thought it was so cool. And I was trying to show it to somebody and I couldn't get the blade to line up and I'm like, what is going on, what is going on? And they were like, yeah, we're really interested, but maybe just call us if one comes in that's working. And when they walked away, I realized that rubber seal was on the inside, which will throw off the blade. So if you have a new Power Chef, make sure you put that on the outside. That's the very first thing you have to do. All right, so just like the Power Chef, our Quick Chef Pro has a no skid ring. It needs to go right on the countertop. Now, when you use your Quick Chef Pro, when you turn clockwise, you're actually chopping. When you turn counterclockwise, you're stirring. So that's something to keep in mind. If it's kind of tough, if you've overfilled it, or maybe you're doing something more fibrous, like carrots and onions or something like that, if you start to give it a turn and it won't turn, just turn it counterclockwise and it'll release those blades from whatever they're stuck on, and then you can turn it again. All right, so you guys can see that's a rough chop in there. If you have the Power Chef, you know this is much rougher than what the Power Chef does. So can you see why you need both tools in your kitchen? Say yes. This is great for like a soup base. In addition to the pico de gallo, it's great for like bases for soups, stews, those kind of things, because as you simmer those recipes down, they're going to lose their texture if they're not a heavy texture like this. So there's times where we don't want to emulsify everything. We want that rougher chop. So this is the tool for that. Guacamole, my husband just whispered. All right. Also, that's another party idea. If you are doing either the Quick Chef Pro or the Power Chef and you make a lot of salsa, that's a great one to do. Just dump your salsa out into your chip and dip when it's all done, and then leave like maybe an inch of it left in the tool, and then add your avocados and give it a quick either spin if you're doing the Quick Chef or a few pulls if you're doing the Power Chef. Incorporate that salsa into the avocado and it's instant guacamole. So that's a way to show people that these tools are not just for making salsa. You can do lots of different things in them. Okay? All right, so next we're gonna open our can opener. Now, who is comfortable with our can opener? Say yes. It takes practice. I'm not gonna lie. So if you pull this out on your very first party and you have not used this can opener, you're gonna be kicking yourself later because it takes practice, but it's actually a very cool tool and something that a lot of customers like once you teach them how to use it. Once you're used to it and you teach others how to use it. So how it works is you spread the legs and then you're gonna set it down right on the top of your can, and you'll feel that wheel part right up against your can. And then close the legs and then twist. And you should be able to pick up your can. If you can pick up your can, then you know you've sealed it on there right. So then you should be able to twist it. And what's nice about our can opener is it has this nice, huge handle. So people with wrist or bone issues, they can easily turn this. It's usable right-handed or left-handed. And it actually unglues the can. It unglues the top of the can from the bottom of the can. It doesn't actually cut that metal. So you're not at risk of throwing it in the trash and having someone cut themselves on the way out or anything like that. So once you feel, after you get used to it a while, you'll know. So as you're spinning it around, you feel it kind of loosen up, and that's when you know you've gone all the way around. Then on the very tip of the tool is a beak. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's like a little beak. You put that beak down on the top, pinch it back together as if you're going to take the top off, and pull, and it comes right off. See? Yay. All right, so I'm just going to dump that down into my Quick Chef Pro. I'm going to give it a little salt. These are Tupperware, but they're not available anymore. I still take things that aren't available to my parties sometimes, and then I will tell them, if you love this, put this on your wish list, and I will contact you when they come back out. And it's a great way to keep that contact up with customers and provide good service. All right, then I'm going to use our Southwest Chipotle seasoning. They used to give this to us in the kit, and they don't put them in the kit anymore, but this is something I think you should pick up. This seasoning is only $6, and what's nice about it is when you're using a reusable thing or a expendable thing like that, people will constantly order from you. I have customers who call me every few months and order one of these from me because they love it so much. It's kind of like a taco seasoning. And then, of course, I'm going to use our measuring spoons. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name of it. Our measuring spoons. What's great about our measuring spoons is they were rated A++ by Consumer Reports for accuracy. And part of the reason for that is because we offer a set of 6 instead of a set of 4 or 5, which is very important for people who are baking. Cooking, not so much, because you have a little grace in there when you're cooking, but baking, it's super important. So every baker in the house needs to write this down on their wish list. All right, so I'm going to do a ½ teaspoon of that, and I do a pretty generous teaspoon of that. Then we're going to use my favorite tool, the Zest and Press. If you don't have a Zest and Press, find a way to get one, because when you show this at your parties, people will write this on their wish list and order this from you, and it's 35 bucks, I think. So this is a great piece. It blends well with all the kit items, so it's a good piece you should have in your home. How it works is it has a zester on top that comes completely off. You can zest right over your dishes if you want, or you can zest right into the press part of it and measure the zest out if you're doing something that requires more accuracy. Tonight we're not zesting, so I'm just going to set that to the side. Then it's a standard citrus press, and if you have never used a citrus press before, or maybe you've been using it wrong, you want to put the citrus down like this, like flat up against the round part, so inverted. That way when you squeeze that citrus, it inverts the line, and you can see it gets so much of it out. And we're in Colorado, and our limes are not good, and I just got a ton of juice out of it. So I'm going to do the other one. We like everything pretty limey. All right, easy peasy, right? All right, I'm just gonna throw the cover back on. Give it a quick spin. And voila! Pico de gallo. And just like our Power Chef.
Oh, so good, Angie.
Okay, I'll fold it up, sorry. Just like our Power Chef, our Quick Chef Pro has a seal. So if I were gonna make this for a party the night before and let the flavors all meld together, I could do that. I could just seal it right up, pop it in the fridge. Okay, so tonight I'm actually gonna, do you want this one on the chicken or the other one?
That one.
That one. Okay, so I'm gonna set that to the side because he said that one.
Because you're going to make it more in Power Chef.
Okay. Next, I'm gonna do the Power Chef, and here's another tip for you as you're holding your parties. You want to have a trash bowl. That way it looks like everything is clean. It's more like a cooking show. People aren't feeling overwhelmed like there's crap everywhere. Have a plan for that because you're going to have trash throughout the show. So have a plan for that. Also, you're going to have dirty dishes throughout the show. Have a plan for that. I've used an empty like Rubbermaid container before and just set it by my feet. And as I finish stuff, I just pop it right down there in there. If you have the Tupperware cooler, that's a great thing to use as your trash compartment because you can just hose it all out. So have a plan for your dirty dishes. Otherwise, here's what happens. Your table looks like a mess. People can't tell what's going on, and your host starts doing dishes. And you don't want your host to do dishes, right? You want her to be enjoying her time with you. So make sure you have a plan for your dirty dishes. All right, we're going to do some Power Chef. This is actually my favorite kitchen tool because I don't like a lot of chunks in mine. So I like the Power Chef. It's a smoother chop. It's great for making smoothies. Salsa, guacamole, ice cream. And I literally just shove everything in here. Even at my parties, I just shove it all in there because when they see this thing go crazy, they can't even believe it. All right, so don't be scared. Push your tools, and that's another key part of using it in your kitchen. Like I said, the best thing you can bring to your parties is your confidence. If you use this in your kitchen 2 or 3 times a week and you're making stuff with it at your parties, you know what it can do. You're not afraid of it. So be sure that you're using it. All right, you just pop the top on and pull the string. All right, usually at that point, people are blown away at how finely it just chopped all that. Ooh, ah. All right, once again, I'm gonna use the can opener. I'm not gonna walk you through it because you're all consultants and hopefully you've used it. Be sure and cover the top of your tools when you're pouring stuff in so that gunk doesn't get down in there. It makes it harder to have the connection happen.
What is that?
Salt, little more Southwest Chipotle. And my family loves this Southwest Chipotle. We'll eat it on all kinds of stuff. We're fans. All right, just pop. Oh, I didn't do the lines. So it's kind of rinse and repeat for this recipe. Usually when I'm doing 2 salsas at the party, I'll do a mango salsa in the Quick Chef Pro, and then I'll do a traditional salsa in the Power Chef. That line was really sketch. Just so they can see the consistency difference, but then they have a little flavor difference too. They have, people like the mango salsa a lot. It has jalapeno and mango in it, and then some red bell pepper. So they like the kick and the sweetness together. All right, just throw the top back on, go to tune. All right, if you ever have anything weird like that happen, did you see how my Power Chef caught? You can just give a little smile and keep working it because it won't break, so don't worry about that. All right, this one's gonna go right into our chip and dip. Can you guys see that? Chip and dip.
Yeah.
Okay. And then at this point, I would talk about the chip and dip because it is part of our kit. So what I love about this chip and dip is it's for so much more than just chips and dips, how we're using it tonight. First of all, it's great for chips and dips because these containers come off and they are microwave reheatable. They come with their own seals. So you can seal it up after the party, pop it in your fridge, or if you have queso throughout the party, you can pop it in the microwave without the seal on it. Microwave reheat that queso so it stays fresh for you. These little bowls just hang right on the side, so this salsa is ready to go. And then at this point, I let them dig in. And as they're eating, I'll continue to cook for them. So next up, we're gonna talk about the pressure cooker. How many of you guys have a pressure cooker in your home? Say yes. Any pressure cooker fans? All right. What's awesome about the pressure cooker, I'm assuming some of you said yes. Here's a few things to know about the pressure cooker if you don't have one. This microwave pressure cooker, just like all our Tupperware products, was designed especially for us. Tupperware went to the engineers and said, we would love to have a microwave pressure cooker, but here's some of the things that people are afraid of. Explosions, they're afraid that, you know, like some of those things that traditional pressure cookers and even electric pressure cookers can have. So the kind on the stove or the kind that you plug in, those are concerns that people had brought to them, and Tupperware was concerned about bringing a pressure cooker to the market for that. So they provided plenty of safety precaution or safety mechanisms in this tool. So if you don't have a pressure cooker, here's some of the things that are unique about ours and that you want to share with your customers so that they feel okay using it in their house, around their family. Okay, so it is a nonstick surface, so they can make anything, you know, anything that they make in a slow cooker, they can really make in our pressure cooker in about 20 to 30 minutes. It is dishwasher safe, so they can just pop it in the dishwasher when they're done using it. This rubber gasket on the inside is actually a security mechanism within the pressure cooker. And how that works is if the pressure builds up too hot inside of the container, let's say a microwave was malfunctioning and the pressure cooker was getting too hot, this would actually recoil and drop down into the dish and release the pressure in the pressure cooker. So you have no chance of this blowing up inside of your microwave. The other thing that it has is, okay, so you have your little guy that stands up to tell you that that there's pressure inside of the container. Hopefully you guys know that. And this piece does come out when you're, this valve comes out. So when you go to pop it in your dishwasher, you can pop that out so that nothing gunky gets stuck in there. But you want to make sure that the T part is on the bottom. If you do it the opposite way and the T is on top, so if it looks like a T when the container is closed, then that valve, when the pressure builds up, is just gonna come out and spray stuff all over your microwave, all that hot liquid. So you wanna make sure that you have it put together right after you've dishwashed it. And even when it comes sometimes from the factory, that valve is not put in there. And so you wanna make sure that you're putting it in there correctly. Not Tupperware T, upside down T, okay? Not the Tupperware T. All right, so that's a safety mechanism that it has. There's literally no way for that valve to come out just by the pure physics of that plastic piece holding it on. Then it has a screw lock on it instead of just an airtight seal. So you actually set that, you match arrow to arrow, screw it, and as you screw it, there's a little tiny hole in the top that also holds the pressure in, and when you screw it, you can feel the air coming out, and that's how you know it's got that airtight seal on it, which is what you want in your pressure cooker. Then the last safety thing is this little handle, and this handle goes on the pressure cooker. It has a valve that lines up with that hole that I just mentioned that covers that hole, and then it also locks. So at any point, if I were to take this out of my microwave and not be patient and wait for it, if I were to pull up this handle early, as soon as I do that, that hole is going to release all the pressure, and it might release some liquid too, so you really don't want to get in the habit of doing that. But it's much better than the old ones where it would explode the entire contents of the container all over you. So that's really some big safety features on this. It's an expensive piece, which is why I wanted to demo it for you tonight and why I demo it at my parties. I typically demo the Power Chef and the pressure cooker. And when you do, you can see that they blend together. There's a lot of recipes where you'll mix something in the Power Chef, put it on something in the pressure cooker, and you have a meal for them to try. So there's a lot of recipes that have that combination, and we're going to talk a little bit about recruiting, but honestly, if people love the Power Chef and the pressure cooker, they're going to join your team. So we're going to pop this in the microwave. I did chicken breast. That was, oh, did I put the salsa on it? No, I didn't. So I've got chicken in here, just 4 chicken breasts. And I'm just going to dump that pico de gallo on it. So I'm going to dump that all over it. I knew it felt kind of light when I went to do that. Okay. And then the thing about the pressure cooker is whatever you're cooking needs to be covered in liquid. So you can see that's completely covered by the salsa. It's like a slow cooker where it needs to be covered in liquid or else it's going to burn it. All right, so we'll try that again. I'll lock everything back up. And then these chicken breasts are actually defrosted, so I'm just going to do 20 minutes in the microwave. If they're frozen, which you can do, you're going to start with 30 minutes, then let the pressure release, check it, and if it's not done, you can do another 10 minutes on it. All right, some people ask about the pressure cooker for a couple of reasons. One, it says in the instructions that you can only use a 900-watt microwave. Because that's actually not true. It says that in the instructions because this piece was designed in France and their microwave wattage is different than ours. So our 1,000 and 1,200-watt microwaves are perfectly okay to use in this piece. You do not have to worry about that. The other thing is this is a completely non-stick surface, so you can stick it right in the dishwasher, but you never want to use like a Brillo pad or one of those sponges that have a rough surface. You don't want to be using that on it. It's a slick plastic. You shouldn't have to use that on there, okay? Any questions about the pressure cooker? All right, you wait till you see that chicken. And if you have questions, keep rolling them in. You guys are so quiet. This is the type of party I don't like. Don't do that. Just kidding. All right. So at the start of my parties, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about this too. At the start of my parties, when I talk about the Tupper Bucks, I also give them their party packs. The instructions for how I created my party packs are actually on our blog at risetothetup.com. So you can check those out if you're not sure how to make party packs or if you don't have them. But I give them the party packs at the start of the party, and I've gone back and forth about this. I used to not give them catalogs at the front because then I would totally lose them, like lose their interest. But now what I've done is I give them the party pack and I give them instructions with the party pack. So I tell them, all right, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and pass out your party packs. I call these your toolkits for the night. And how they work is they have everything that you need for tonight to take notes on, anything that you want to ask questions about, information about our products in general, has a catalog in there, what's going on sale or what's on sale right now, what you can get when you're ready to host a party with me. All of those things are in your toolkit. But right now, I'm just going to have you open it up and pull out the very first thing, which is your wish list. Go ahead and pull out that wish list, and I have pens for them too. And then you can use the notebook as a hard surface to write on, and you can use your wish list while we're doing the demonstration, and anything that you see that you love, just jot it down on your wish list. It doesn't commit you to buying it tonight, but if you don't purchase it tonight, then I know to let you know when it goes on sale. You can also provide me with information for your husband or boyfriend or somebody that you think might want to buy you a gift in the future. You can write their email address or phone number on there, and when things go on sale, I'll let them know that they were nominated by you and you would love, love, love to have this in your home. And also you can jot down your birthday, and I'll do it right before your birthday. I'll let them know what's on your wish list, so it makes the shopping super easy. So that's a service that I provide for all of my customers. Then what I do is I track that in my database, and I have a map, so I use the contacts program that is provided by Apple, and in the notes section I just jot down everything that they wanted in their wish list, and then it's searchable, so I can search it later. Okay, so that's how I manage that. Then aside from the wish list, as we're doing the demonstration and the food is cooking, this is when I spend my time connecting with everyone. So a lot of times we'll go sit in the living room instead of hanging out in the kitchen. Just depends on kind of how the host has her setup going. Sometimes we'll sit in the dining room, or everybody kind of cops a squat once the demo is over. So however we can sit down, we sit down together. And then I tell them, I say, I would love for you guys to go around the room, introduce yourself, and tell me your favorite piece of Tupperware. And if you're a Tupperware virgin, you gotta shout that out loud and proud so we can all make fun of you. And then they do. So I just start like on my left, and I'll say, go ahead. And then she'll say, you know, if you guys want to do it, if a couple of you want to introduce yourself and tell me about your favorite product, that would be awesome. You can get comfortable telling people about it. So unmute. You have to unmute first.
Hi, I'm Lisa. Can you hear me?
Hi, Lisa.
Okay, just making sure you can hear me. My favorite piece of Tupperware right now, I think, is the pressure cooker.
The pressure cooker. What's your favorite recipe in it?
I don't know, everything.
Yeah, you got a new microwave, so now you're on.
Yeah, I got a new microwave, so it's like fabulous. It saved me yesterday. I was at Amanda's. We had a cookie swap, and I forgot to make meatballs ahead of time, so I threw everything in the pressure cooker and brought it to her house and put it in her microwave.
Love it. Okay, so I will tell you, I'm going to stop there. Lisa, thank you for sharing. I would give her Tupper Bucks for sharing. So I'm going to stop you there. The reason that I do this with my guests is it seems like it takes a long time for everybody to go around the room and say what their favorite thing is. But what's happening when they're doing that is they're selling to each other. I'm not, because it's one thing for me to say, I love this and that. And it's another thing for their friends to be like, I've had this in my kitchen for 40 years and I love, love, love this piece, right? As soon as their friend says it, they're all writing it down on their wish list. So that's why I take the time. It seems time consuming to go through 10 or 15 people, which is what my party average is. It seems time consuming to go through all those people, but it goes pretty quick. And sometimes I'll do Tupper bucks when they share. So thank you so much for sharing, because sharing's not easy. If you're an introvert like me and you get put on the spot like that and you're trying to think of what your favorite piece is and there's like a million things going through your head, it's not easy. So make sure that you give them something, even if it's easy for you to share. So give them a Tupper buck. You could give them a tiny treasure. You could give them a citrus peeler. This is your time to kind of love on them a little bit. So as a thank you for sharing and them basically selling your products, you're going to give them something. All right, so anybody else want to share? Okay, share. I can't see the chat very good, so just unmute yourself and share.
Can you hear me though?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, my name is Cindy. I am from in Olathe, Kansas, and my daughter and I just used the first chopper. I'm so sorry. I made salsa.
In the Power Chef, the pull one or the cream?
Yes, the pull one. Yes.
The Power Chef. Love that tool.
Yes, she loves it, and I found it very easy.
Awesome. I cannot wait for it to hit summertime. You guys can make ice cream in there. Make your mom make ice cream for you, okay? All right, so no matter what they say, you want to affirm that theirs is rocking, whatever it is, because all of our products are pretty kick butt, right? So pretty much anything that they say, I'm in agreement with. I'm like, yeah. And then, so no matter what she tells me, like she told me she made that recipe, and that was a recipe that we made tonight. Awesome. Then I'm going to kick back something that's useful to her. So I'm either going to give her some tips and tricks, or did you know this whole thing comes apart, and give her some dishwashing ideas, or I'm going to give her a recipe idea. And I might even say something, do a dating bid at that point. If you don't know what a dating bid is, it's when you kind of plant a seed for someone to date you. So I might say, thank you, Cindy, so much for sharing. If you ever want to make that ice cream with me, just invite me over. I'd love to show you and a few friends. And then boom, you just move on, okay? So you're not putting her on the spot. You're not saying like, hey, when can I come over? Or being awkward. You're just saying, if you want me to show you that ice cream recipe, I would love to come over and show it to you. It's one of my favorite recipes, okay? Then you move on to the next person. Does someone else want to share? Okay, I can't see the chat, sorry guys. I have you guys up on a ladder, so I can't see the chat. And my tech support went away.
Teresa said that she likes the Benton serves right now.
Oh, the Benton serves. I love the Benton serves too. What do you love about them, Teresa?
I'll talk for you, Teresa. Chat away.
Okay, chat away, girl. Thanks.
She's putting her, she's getting her daughter ready for bed, but she's.
Oh, I know how that goes. Obviously, at a live party, there's not awkward silence, so just keep that in mind.
She loves that they can go in the microwave. Angie.
I'm sorry, what?
Angie.
What?
Stop doing dishes. She loves that they can go in. She loves that they can go in the microwave.
They can go in the microwave?
Yep.
Yes, I love that too. And did you know that they're also freezer safe? And you can go directly from the freezer to the microwave. You don't have to defrost in between, which is awesome if you're gonna make something like lasagna or something in some of the deeper Benton serves. You can pre-make up several batches. Like I love to do that because I'm Italian and we like to eat, and we're not just gonna eat one lasagna usually when people come over. So I'll make like 2 or 3 at a time. I've got all the ingredients out, super easy to whip together. I can stack them all up in my freezer and then just pop them in my microwave when we're ready to eat, however many we need. It also helps me if I'm giving meals to someone else. For example, if someone has a baby or something like that, I'm sure you guys have all been on that meal chain. So it helps me just have stuff in the freezer that I can pop over and give to her, and she feels like it's a home-cooked meal, so no matter what I got going on that day, it's all ready to go. So yes, I love, love, love my Benton serves. I also call them husband-proof.
Hey, that's funny. Wait, stop. I was just going to say that her husband-proof, she just said, even my husband can reheat food.
Yes, yes. And I love that. And I call them husband-proof because they have a textured bottom on the inside, so you can use a fork right in him. So he doesn't have to worry about turning the microwave power down. It is recommended for the integrity of the food. It'll taste a little better if he turns the microwave power down when he reheats them. But you know what? You can't teach an old dog new tricks sometimes, and it's not going to mess up your Tupperware if he puts it in at full power. And then he can eat it with a fork right out of the same container. Less dishes to do. Love my Vent and Serves. If anybody in this room doesn't have Tupperware, the Vent and Serves are a great collection to start with. They're kind of an all-purpose bowl. So yes, thank you for bringing up the Vent and Serves. I love them. Does anybody else want to share?
Julie, are you going to talk or just chat?
Huh?
Julie, type. Okay, Julie's chatting. She said she
you
was.
have a mic.
Don't put her on the spot.
Whatever, Julie. Shut up. For those of you who were on the call last night. If not, sorry, that was rude. Okay, sorry.
She said she was the Tupperware virgin, and her first piece was the sandwich keepers for her kids' lunches.
I love it. So, what I love about our sandwich keepers is they will fit the larger bread. I just cut the sandwich in half and kind of stack it up a little bit. So they're great even for like the larger Sara Lee bread. But I use them for all kinds of stuff. I use them for anything that I would normally use a Ziploc baggie for. So those sandwich keepers are a great way to help preserve our environment. Awesome job. Thank you for sharing, Julie.
Teresa wants to know, do you ever encounter people that do not use microwaves because they think the microwaves are unsafe, and how do you handle that?
Absolutely. Yes, of course I run into people like that. So then I tell them to buy the cookware. No, so anybody who's not comfortable with microwave use, I give them some tips and tricks on the fact that our plastics are actually resin, so they're not the standard plastic that you would buy like Gladware or anything that you could get at King Soopers. They're a resin designed for temperature change specifically. So that's why our containers are microwave safe and freezer safe. Our Crystal Wave collection and our Vent and Serve collection specifically. In addition to that, our stack cooker. And one of my favorite microwave pieces actually doesn't microwave your food at all. It's the Smart Steamer. And how that works is it's a layered cooking system, but it has metal on the inside of the Tupperware. So the only thing that doesn't contain that metal surrounding is the bottom water reservoir. So that piece is microwaved. The water then boils and steams your food. It's a great piece for anybody who doesn't like microwaved food. If you don't like microwaved food because you don't think it tastes right, I would love to do a cooking class in your home and show you how great it can actually be, because sometimes people don't like microwave food because they've had it prepared incorrectly and not in the right containers. If it's a situation where for health reasons you don't want to use the microwave, I'm certainly not going to force you. We have plenty of tools that contain our plastic resins, but just like any sort of food processor, there's plastic on your food processor. And not everything is stainless steel. So things like our food processors, our tools, our citrus press, things like our cookware, all of those are items that I think you would enjoy even if you're not a plastic user. So I would love to help you with some of that. So not a problem. It does not faze me at all when people do not want to use plastic in their home. Also, yes, you can use it for other things like organizational things like Lisa's showing, that organized crayons. And I will talk to them a little bit. As soon as someone says they don't like plastic, I go into question mode. And I try to find out why they don't like plastic, whether they've heard about the leaching and they're not comfortable with that, and I talk to them a little bit about that. Or if it's just a situation where they don't want to use it in the microwave, but they're not anti-plastic, then our modular mates are a great solution for them, because we're not going to microwave those modular mates anyway, right guys? Hopefully you know that. So there's a lot of things that we have in our 80 pages of yummy goodness that don't require microwave reheating in our plastic containers. And our cookware is the best cookware on the market. It's a tri-ply stainless steel. It's usable on an induction oven. It's hands down amazing cookware, and everybody needs a good set of cookware, especially if you're more health conscious and not using the microwave and those kind of tools that help you cook faster. Having good cookware is imperative. Good knives. We use surgical steel, so all of our blades and everything are that surgical steel. Really great product. So we can talk about lots of things even if they're not plastic users. But first find out what part of plastic they don't like, whether it's the temperature change, whether it's just plastic in general, and then you can kind of steer in the right direction. All right, so I can smell that, so. All right. What else, guys? Anybody else want to share? Oh, one question I put on Facebook is somebody said, and I was waiting to see if anybody was going to say what I say. So one question is, people will say, oh yeah, I got married 30 years ago and I got all the Tupperware at that point. I got everything out of the catalog because I had a wedding shower. And then, so that they use that as a reason to like not come to the Tupperware party or not host a Tupperware party. And at that point, I would take some time to explain to them, yes, back in the day when Earl Tupper first designed Tupperware 70 years ago, it was primarily food storage. That was kind of his bread and butter. But over the last 10 and 15 years, Tupperware as a corporation has realized that women are not home cooking all day. They need things besides food storage, and they need ways to make meals fast. So we've moved to a lot more tools. It used to be 80% of our catalog was storage containers and about 15% was tools when we first started. Now it's flip-flopped. About 80% of our catalog is items that are not food storage related. They're tools, they're cookware, they're knives, they're other things to help you make those meals in minutes. So even if someone thinks they have everything they need for their kitchen, I would love to have them come to a Tupperware party because I guarantee they do not have a pressure cooker in their kitchen if they haven't been to a Tupperware party in 30 years, right? So keep talking to those people and kind of find out and maybe educate them a little bit at that point, because I think that's a quick answer and it's because they just don't know any better, right? 3 minutes. It smells a little roasty in here, so we'll see how it goes. I've made this before, so I'm sure it's fine. But that's another thing is at your parties, you want to make your recipe before you walk in the door, right? Do not, like sometimes I'll experiment with you guys and say like, hey, we're going to wing it. When we used to do cooking classes all the time, I would wing it with you guys and you guys knew it and we just laugh about it when it was like, nailed it. But you do not want to do that at a party. Like you don't want to have a nailed it moment at a party. You want that recipe to be like on the money. So make sure that you've made it several times at your home and practice it, especially with the same tools that you're going to use at the party. All right, should I pull that out? Oh, it has 2 minutes. All right, I'm going to pull that out because it smells done. All right, so our pressure cooker handles actually stay pretty cool to the touch, but I'm going to use the pot holders on them because if there's any moisture that has settled outside of it, that will be very hot. So hopefully you can hear it. Can you hear the pressure that's built up in there? I don't know if you guys can hear that with the mic. Okay, and then you can see the little man is standing up. Let me tell you, ladies, the men do not want to party until they're laying down, right? So do not open your pressure cooker until that man is laying down, okay? So that's what I tell the girls at the parties, like no party until the man is laying down, okay? If he's still standing up, he's not ready to party. All right, for this, because I'm actually making it for my family, I'm going to show you one more recipe, and I'm just going to make some quick rice. How many of you guys have our rice cooker? This is an inexpensive piece, and a lot of people can't make rice. So giving them something that solves a problem is going to help them. So I don't always demo the rice maker because it's a cheap piece, and I don't demo a lot of cheap pieces, but sometimes I do. And for this recipe, we have to wait for the pressure cooker to release the pressure anyway, so it's easy to throw rice in and just let that go. Okay. Sorry. That was awesome. Put that in the outtakes. Okay, so I'm actually going to make quinoa tonight instead of rice. If you don't know what quinoa is, it's a seed instead of a grain, so it's healthier for you. A lot of people who are health conscious have gotten into the quinoa craze. You can look on Instagram. There's actually a little girl named Quinoa, and she does micro fashion. I don't know if you've seen that. Little pop culture. Oops, I just pulled it over. Okay, so it's just a cup of quinoa and 2 cups of water. And I have the quinoa in the modular made. I have my modular maids labeled with my cute little labels. And then I will take this to a party just like this. gives me a chance to talk about modular mates. I'm not going to go into that tonight because that's a long demonstration. We'll save that for another night. All right, then it has this green insert. The little handles go up so you can grab them when it's done. And then this just gets sealed on. Goes in the microwave. I have the chart for my rice inside one of my cabinets, so I know how long to cook it. All right. So we're just gonna wait for the pressure cooker. At this point, if I were a game player, which I know some of you guys like to play games at your parties, now is a good time to do it while you're waiting for that guy to stand down, okay? Otherwise, I would continue to either talk about that or I would walk them through the specials at this point. Let me grab a flyer. Sorry, I should have done that. Okay, sorry. So while we're waiting for that to finish cooking, because it is actually still cooking while it's in our pressure cooker. So while we're waiting for that to finish cooking, I'm actually going to talk to you guys a little bit about our sale items, because the best kind of Tupperware is cheap or free, right? So tonight we have a few things on sale for you. One of my favorite deals is this Wonderlier Get It All Fun Fresh Get It All set. And they have these in their laps, so it's not like I'm showing it to them like I'm showing it to you. So I would just kind of hold it up and go over it, explain everything that's in it, and say, and you can, and I usually have these items, I've sampled them, I have them sitting somewhere in the house, and I would say, you can get everything on that end table for just $69 tonight. And then they're gonna be like, what? Yeah, write it down, you want that. Okay, then when you get that Fun and Fresh Get It All set, I don't know why they give it such names like that. So when you get that Fun and Fresh Get It All set, you can also add on your Disney Princess mini serve set for just $15. Oh, no, wrong page, sorry, the $7 ones. You can add on your snack cups, your Tupper minis, and your Crystal Brown container for just $7. Where can you get Tupperware for $7, right? That's like the same price that you would pay for Gladware or Rubbermaid. So yes, and Rubbermaid does not come with the lifetime warranty that Tupperware does. So you need to be writing this down. This is a great pick-me-up item that you can get. And so I just kind of go through the brochure. And then the last thing that I say, and no matter what you plan on buying tonight, make sure that you add on our small Wonderlier bowls, because you have access to this special because you have your butt in the seat right now. Aren't you glad you came to this party? Everyone who bailed out on Brooklyn tonight and is placing an online order won't even have access to this. This is 3 of our Wonderlier little bowls. They're 2 cups apiece, perfect in lunches. They're great for a little bit of leftovers. They're great for serving different dips. And that you can get all 3 of them for only $12. Absolutely pick that up. No matter what you get tonight, make sure you add that to your order. Okay, the reason I say it like that is I imply that she needs to order something else to get it. I don't say that. She doesn't have to order something else to get it. But do I want her to order something else? And I would be shocked if she couldn't find something to order with everything that I'm showing her. So I just say, no matter what you get tonight, make sure you add that on, because that is the best, one of the best deals in the sales flyers, okay? So you always want to talk about the only at a party item. If your budget is small, if you've just joined Tupperware and you haven't built up your Tupperware funds yet, make sure that you sample that only at a party item every time. And then if you, at the end of this, you could either turn around and sell that set for $24, or you could use that in your auction. Break it apart, you've spent $4 on auction gift, that's a pretty good price. So make sure that you always get that only at a party item, because that's a great little add-on that you will sell to every single person in the room, okay? All right, so then I talk about the sales flyers and whatever else. You know how Tupperware adds on other things, and they said, oh, and this week only you can get blah, blah, blah. So I talk about all of that. And then once I've talked about the sales, in the sales flyer, I tell them, but as I said, the best kind of Tupperware that you can get is free Tupperware. And I have this host gift sitting somewhere in the room, and I tell them, when you host a party, you can date it tonight. Brooklyn will get credit for your dating. It's going to help her get some freebies, and you're going to be able to grab all of these items for free, all these modular mates sitting right here. Well, my huge collection of modular mates. All these modular mates right here for free when you date a party with me that hits $550 in sales and 2 friends date their parties. And let me tell you, girls, in Denver, our party average is $750. So hitting this $550 is not a big deal, right? So if you're in Denver, and actually our national average has gone up to 500, which is why they're changing all the catalogs and everything like that. So even if you're in an area that's typically below average, it shouldn't be that much of a stretch for her to get these $550 gifts, okay? So you want to be making them fall in love with the $550 host exclusive before they've even dated you. Because when you have a host that loves the host exclusive, she's going to be talking to her friends about dating the parties for you. So that's part of the 5-star host coaching. She's going to be working that party for you because she wants this set. And if you don't believe me, I got nothing for you, because when I was a host before I joined Tupperware, I wanted the host exclusive. My consultant sold me on that host exclusive. I felt like I had to have it. It was the best deal in the catalog. And I didn't have a single friend date my consultant because, well, she was kind of crabby. But so none of my friends dated my consultant. And I begged them after the party. I texted them all individually and said, please, please, please have a party. I want this gift so bad. And the only thing I don't have is the datings. So if you don't believe that she will be working her friends, you're wrong. I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. So I begged my friends. Nobody would have it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to join. Forget you people. So work those host exclusives, because they are what's going to keep you in business. All right? So right off the bat, so the dating gifts. So then I'm going to say, now as you're looking at your wish list and you're starting to move everything over to your order form, if you're looking at your wish list and it's long, we need to talk, because I would love, love, love to have you take everything on this table, and keep in mind I still have my kit sitting on the table. I would love for you to take everything on this table for only $30 tonight when you join my team. Now, you're welcome to join for the discount. You're welcome to join to earn a little bit of money, or I would love to teach you how to make a lot of money. But if you join my team tonight, it's only $30 plus tax and shipping. You get everything here to keep, no matter what you decide moving forward. Then, if you decide to host 2 average parties within the next 60 days, submitting $900 in sales, Tupperware will pay off your kit. You don't owe a single thing else. And if that's not good enough, tonight when you join, you also get to take advantage of our Say Yes gift. And it's this, whatever my Say Yes gift is, it's a bunch of modular mates all over the place. So it's all these modular mates, and they will be added, a coupon will be added to your account, so you can take these for only $20. And you have 30 days to pay that $20. So if you only got the $30 tonight, we'll sign you up. That coupon will be yours to hold on to for the next 30 days.
Mary Campbell said how it changed to 35.
It did change to 35, but after this month, it changed. So it's not yet. Through Friday, it's 30. Good question. All right. So the rice is out. It needs time, or the quinoa's out. It needs time to sit. But the little man has come down and he's ready to party. So I'm going to open this up. And when you open that up, if you've waited for the man to come down, then no steam should come out. Like, the pressure should be all released for you. So you can do it with your hand, because no steam's going to come out and burn you. All right, and then you twist. Pull that off. Y'all want to see, don't you? Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'll cut it so you guys can see it. Yes, my Tupperware drawer looks like yours where everything falls out. You might have to go.
Is it in the bowl?
And I only cut veggies with this. I didn't cut any raw meat. So you can see it's perfectly cooked and dripping everywhere. Let me try to drip it back into the pressure. You can see it's perfectly cooked. It is some of the most moist chicken that.
Hold the pressure so you can see.
Hold the pressure. Okay. So it's some of the most moist chicken that you guys will ever eat. I promise you. And it took 20 minutes, 30 minutes if it's frozen, but 20 minutes. And it is so, so, so very good. We serve ours on quinoa or rice, super easy. And then we have chips and salsa on the side. And if I make guacamole, that would be part of it too, or I could make a quick bean dip. So this is a recipe that you can feed a lot of people with. And keep in mind at your parties that you're not really demoing to feed them dinner. You're demoing to give them a sample. Because if you're feeding them dinner at every party, they're going to stop coming to your parties, right? Because they've seen it all. There's nothing new to see in their mind. But if you give them a little sample and say, and next time we'll make a dessert that goes really good with this, they're going to be excited and want to date you again, okay? So what questions can I answer? I'm going to set that to the side. All right.
When do I do these?
The husband wants to know when he gets to eat. Never. All right.
When you get a smell-o-vision, you can eat.
I know, when you get smell-o-vision. So one last thing that I was going to do for you guys is use the chop and prep. If you don't have the chop and prep, Christmas time and all the time when they're baking, this is a great tool that everybody needs. It's a little chopper, and what it does is, unlike the Power Chef, it has straight blades in it. So it uses the centrifugal motion of the container to push everything back up onto the blade, and it'll do a really fine chop. I was going to do cilantro for the for the quinoa, but I'm going to do some almonds so you guys can see how well it chops. Oh, sorry.
That would not be good.
That would have been really bad. Okay. And if I don't have anything that I'm using it for in a demo, and I think I have a house full of bakers, when I talk to my host, if they're really into baking, I'll bring this and bring almonds because they can't believe how well it chops these things, because almonds are a rougher nut. Pretty awesome, right? And if you want them finer than that, we can keep going. It'll turn into dust. It'll just keep going and getting finer and finer. So
Almond flour.
Huh?
Almond flour.
Yep, you can make almond flour. It would take a long time though.
No, not really. I've done it with the Quick Chef.
With the Power Chef?
With the Power Chef, yeah. I've done it with the Power Chef. It really doesn't take all that much time.
Was it fine enough for like baking?
Yeah.
Huh.
Ah, I taught Angie something.
I tried to do coffee grounds once and it wasn't fine enough for that.
And Karen wants to know, are we allowed to run our own specials
Wow.
parties?
So good question, Karen. Are you allowed to run your own specials during your parties? Yes. The answer is yes to that. At your parties in person, you can run your own specials. I don't recommend it because honestly, Tupperware puts a lot on sale. So you shouldn't have a need to put it even more on sale unless you're going to do something like cash and carry. But here's the thing with cash and carry. If you guys are selling cash and carry at your party, you can only credit your hostess for $75. So you want to stay within that $75 range. Otherwise, it's not fair to your hostess. Like, it would suck to be a hostess and have a bunch of people over and they all buy cash and carry and I get no host benefit. Like, that would really suck as a host. So you want to make sure that you're being conscious of the fact that you can only give her $75 in credit. And usually how I do my cash and carries at parties is after everyone has ordered and dated me, at the very end, I'll say, and because you came tonight, I have a special offer for you on our serial keepers or whatever. You can, I have 5 of them here, and they're $10 a piece. First 5 gets it, you know, and I just let them fight over it. Okay? So that's how I do my cash and carry, so that I can be true to my hostess and really serve her well, not short her sales. Yeah, exactly. And I totally, sometimes if I don't have all the same item, I'll do like a $10 basket, and I'll say the first 7 people to come up here can pick something from my $10 basket. And it is like fight. Everybody elbow each other out. I let my host go first, and I let her dig through, and then everybody else is like a cat fight. And it's fun. Like, people have fun with it. And then I tell them, hey, if you didn't get what you want, date me, and I'll bring the basket again. You know? So have fun with it. The biggest thing to remember the whole time is you want to be connecting with people, and everything that you do in the party is to connect with people. So asking those questions, asking them what their favorite pieces of Tupperware are, that's going to give you some indication of how they use their kitchen. If it's their favorite piece and it's, you know, modular meats, then you know they like an organized kitchen. They like, they are probably bakers if they use modular meats, you know? They're not eating a paleo diet if they're using modular meats, you know what I mean? Because that's a lot of dry goods. So it gives you a little insight to their world, and it helps you serve them better. And then the wish list, if you're not doing a wish list, I really think that's key to boosting up your party sales, because it's a really easy way for someone to kind of window shop. And then you know exactly what they're after. And you can talk to them about joining when their wish list is 50 things long, which it almost always is. So questions about that? I know some of you guys have mentioned that you're nervous about recruiting. Do you want me to go over some recruiting stuff, or did you feel good about what I said so far? Because I know we're at 8 o'clock and it's late for you East Coasters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
okay.
I'm just teasing with you.
Okay. No, you're fine. So we'll save recruiting talks at the party. Hopefully you got a little bit out of it, because I did talk a little bit about it. And we'll save maybe recruiting outside of the party for another night. But at your parties is your #1 recruiting avenue, because when someone sees what you're doing, and they're going to be thinking to themselves, psh, I could do that, right? Another thing that I do to recruit at my party is at the end, you know how I have somebody else cook for me? I'll say, give it up for blah, 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 whoever it is that picked for me, and everybody will clap. And then I'll say, now if I give you $100 to do what she just did, would you do it? And everybody in the room's like, yeah, are you gonna give me $100? And I'm like, no, 100 real bucks, not Tupper bucks. If I give you $100 cash right now to stand up and repeat what she just did, would you do it? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, $100 is less than average for what we make per party. So if that looked easy enough for you to do for $100, you should consider joining my team, because I'll teach you how to do that all day long. Okay, so that's another recruiting bid you can do, is just throw it out there and say, I make more than $100 a party. You can too, and it's not that hard to make salsa, right?
Right.
So,
Amanda is falling out.
Amanda's falling out.
all right, Amanda, sweet dreams, my girl.
Oh, it's fine. I'm good.
All right, so we'll do recruiting outside of the party another night. But any other questions? I love recruiting, as you can tell. I think it's the best thing in the catalog.
I got Amanda by bringing something that she wanted. I knew she wanted.
Yes, she did. She bribed me.
her.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, and aren't you glad you said yes after all that?
Yes.
See, you never know, and sometimes they don't know. When I joined, I never knew what it was going to change how it was going to change my life. I never would have thought that. So you just never know.
I have a question.
Sure.
The older products that people are concerned about with the BPA and whatnot, what can we use them for now? Since we know now that we probably shouldn't microwave those or dishwash them, can we just use them for storage or?
Well, Tupperware has never contained BPA except for one.
Okay.
And the amount of BPA that was in that serving tray is less than what's in a can of beans currently. like the liner of a can of beans.
Okay.
So the parts per million of BPA that was ever in any Tupperware product is so small that most people have already consumed way more than that anyway, than what's in the entire piece. So there's not really a concern for the BPA factor. However, you can say that all day long, but of course you're the Tupperware lady, so are they going to believe you?
Yeah.
So BPA typically leaches, anyway, not just BPA, but plastic leaches when the temperature changes. So
Okay.
if they want to use it for storage, they should be fine with that. Even if they want to use it for anything that's not in their fridge or microwave or freezer, they should be fine with it. So they could use it for like pantry storage. They could use it, for first aid kit or whatever.
Okay.
Also things like the Rock and Serve. If they have Rock and Serves, that's something I always replace for my customers under warranty, because the Rock and Serves craze. Do you guys know what crazing is?
No.
Okay, so within the walls of the plastic, it gets cracks, and it's called crazing. And the Rock and Serves do that. Almost every Rock and Serve will do that at some point, especially if it's being microwaved, which is what they're designed for. So
Okay.
that's why they got rid of the Rock and Serves, reformulated it, and came out with Vent and Serves.
I get it. Okay.
When I have a customer that has Rock and Serves, I almost always just replace them all for
I just got a customer that I'm working on her replacements now, and I actually have I have one piece, but now I have the Vent and Serves because I earned them. But now I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so and really the Stack Cooker and the Rock and Serves were the only microwave pieces that were even out before we were certified BPA free.
Okay.
So
I know because getting into it, and I've had people say the whole BPA thing and the plastics, and, I just want to make sure I have my facts straight when I talk to them.
Yeah, and all of that is online. You can refer them to our
Okay.
website if they want to check it out, the sustainability portion of it. So they can check it out online too. And then anything, obviously, and if it's somebody who's hosting a party for you and she comes to you and says, I have these Wonderleers from 1948 and I'm not comfortable with them, replace them. Don't argue with her. Just say,
Yeah.
not a problem, we'll take care of it, and replace it under warranty. Tupperware is
Sounds
never going to get upset for you taking care of a customer.
Sounds good.
So don't stress about warranty. But with that, obviously, we get audited. And the reason that we get audited is to find things like what they found with the Rock and Serves, where if there's integrity issues with the resin, they want to know that. And so when you're getting audited, don't feel like they're auditing the consultant. They're really auditing the product to find out what's going on. So
Okay.
don't be scared. You take care of your customers and don't worry about the rest.
Sounds good.
All right. Any other questions?
Marion wants to know, can you show us the auction?
Oh, you want me to show you the auction? Well, okay. If people want to go to bed, you guys can go to bed. I know it's a long night. So the auction, I just have 3 little pretty gifts. And at the very end, right before my auction, which I should have explained this to you guys. At the very end, right before my auction, I say, how are you guys doing on money? Who needs money? Because we're getting ready to do our auction, and it would be so sad if you didn't get a single thing to take home. So who's going to need some money? And they're all like, I do, because they're all jazzed up at this point. Drunk. No, just kidding. So I get them going, and I say, who's going to need some money? And they say, I do. And then I say, okay, well, here's your chance. I'm going to give every single person in this room at least $1,000 for sticking with me this long, because whatever. It's been 30 minutes, and I've been talking your ears off. So as a thank you for sticking with me this long, I'm going to give you $1,000. Now, if you want $5,000, all you have to do is pick a date that you plan on having your friends over. And if that date doesn't work out after tonight, if you get home and look at your calendar and say, Angie, I don't know what I was thinking, that date's not going to work for me, we can move it a couple of days behind or a couple of days in front, and it's not going to be a problem. So I'm going to move your money to $5,000 when you pick a date, okay? So all you have to do is pick your date tonight. Now, I'm going to move you to $10,000 when you decide to join my team. So that's another $5,000. It's like dating 2 parties, friends. So $10,000, and I hold it up like this, worth of auction money when you join my team tonight. So let me ask you, and then I go around the room, and hopefully I remember everybody's names, but I don't always. So then I'll go around the room and I'll say, now Sue, do you want me to give you $1, $5, or $10,000 tonight? And then she just tells me, and whatever she says, I go with it. And sometimes they, you know, probably the vast majority is going to say 1, and that's okay. So you give her $1,000. Then you go, okay, Betty, do you want $1, $5, or $10,000? And then she says 10. Woo! $10,000. And I cheer like a crazy person no matter what they pick. So I load them up with auction money, and then I say, all right, count up your auction money so you know how much you have, and we're going to get started. For this little tiny bag, no, I never call it tiny because, you know, it's all awesome, whatever it is. So for this bag of Tupperware, and don't forget, little things come in small packages. So for this bag, I'm going to start the bidding at $1,000. Who's got 1,000 Tupperware bucks? Well, I know everybody in the room has 1,000 Tupperware bucks, right? So they're going to start bidding. I got it. Who wants it? Who wants it? And I'll just go back and forth. I do it like auctioneer style. All right, who's got 2,000? 2,000. I got Sue over here. Who's got 3,000? Betty. You know, I just go back and forth, auctioneer style. All right, going once, going twice, sold, and I give her the bag. And I don't let her open it to the very end, okay? So then I do all 3 bags. And usually the host will win something, right? Because she's been loaded up with bucks the whole night. I give her extra bucks for having me over. Then pretty much any questions she asks, I'll double her bucks and really just play with her and treat my host extra special. So usually the host will get something, and then she'll give it to a friend because she doesn't want to take all the gifts or whatever. So you just let them do whatever at that point. And then at the very end, I say, okay, Brooklyn, thank you so much for having me in your home. That is the best compliment you can ever give me, is to invite you into your home. I know what it's like to have to clean the toilet and get the kids out and all that other stuff, so I'm so very grateful for you. As a special thank you for tonight, I have, and I give her something else, whatever she wants, okay? So I just give my host a gift at that point. I use the dating gifts too, and I use them in my 5-star host program. Hopefully you guys have heard me say that before. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about with the 5-star host program? I do that at the very beginning. Please say yes. You guys know about that? Are they answering?
I'm not getting anything.
No? Your silence is no? What?
We
Okay.
got no, yes.
I'm gonna take my apron off. It's getting hot, y'all. Okay, so
Uh-oh.
5-star host program, really quick. I challenge my host when I meet with her, and I give her 5 things that she has to do for her party. Okay? I know it's getting so late. I'm so sorry. So 5 things that she has to do for her party that's going to make her party a success.
It's on your website.
And this is on the website, and I'll double check, make sure that it's current. But quickly, 5 things that I do is I have her collect outside orders, and I tell her collect 10 outside orders. I don't care what size they are. They can be $10 a piece. 10 outside orders, right? I have her keep her same date. I don't want her changing her date and time all over me. Okay, so once we meet for host coaching, we're locked in. We're doing it. Unless we're bleeding out our eyes, we're both showing up. I'm committing to her and she's committing to me. Okay, so keep your date with me, and then invite at least 30 people to come, and that can be online and in person. So 30 people, and I go over the frank list for her so she can come up with her 30 people. Then she's gonna have 2 friends date a party with me, and she can talk to her friends ahead of time so that when I walk in the door, it's a blind date. That's what I call that. So if she can have 2 friends that set me up with a blind date, I'm good with that. Or if they don't, if they date at the party, that's fine too. She still gets the credit. And then for listening to the opportunity at the party, she gets an extra star. And when she gets all 5 stars, so she gets 1 of each of those dating gifts. You know how they come in a set of 4. Like right now, it's a set of 4 of the shakers, the little spice shakers. These things, like the miniature ones. So those come in a set of 4 for $4. I buy those. She gets 4 of those for her first 4 stars. So if she does 4 stars, she gets that. Then on her 5th star, she gets $75 in credit from me. And I'm just using my pool money for that. It doesn't cost me anything. I apply $75 towards her party. So that's what she gets from me for the 5-star host program. That is on the blog, and I'll update it to make sure that it's all current the way that I'm currently running it. And I'm telling you, girls, ladies, not girls, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if we have any gentlemen on. Most people who host parties are like us. If you give them a list, they will do the list. If you don't give them a list, they don't know what they're doing. Even if they've hosted 100 parties before, they have not hosted a Tupperware party with you before. So they need that list. So coaching is key to a successful party. I can tell when I've slacked off and not coached my hostesses, her parties suck. Like I walk in the door and I know it's going to be bad. So if you coach your parties correctly, you will rarely have under a 550 party, rarely. And she's going to get everything she wants on her list. And typically I coach for a $1,000 party and we get darn close almost every time. So if you're not host coaching, if your party sales are low, talk to me about host coaching because that could be a big piece of it, okay? So host coaching is probably the most important thing we do for a host. Right? Super, super important. I know I went through that super fast. You guys are falling asleep on me. I'll make sure tonight that that's on the blog and updated. Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. Thank you so much for hopping on. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you did learn a thing or two, Facebook it tonight on our org page, and I'll pick somebody to win something. So your entry is going to be to Facebook what you learned tonight, and I'll draw somebody for a new pack of catalogs. How about that? All right. So thank you for hopping on tonight and spending the time. I know we went over a little bit, but hopefully you learned a thing or two. Now I'm going to go feed my family. Mwah. Have a good night, guys.